Hi everyone, I'm your host Dr. Heather Shah, and on behalf of Kalwas, I would like to welcome you to all this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. So today we have very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker, who is going to talk about the Stata software and so much more. Before we start, I would like to thank the Kalwas for arranging such enlightenment sessions and for their support and providing such a platform where the experts and professionals come and share their experiences, and they provide a lot of tips and tricks to the students, to the professionals, to the researchers, so that they can grow in a better way and they could perform in a better way, which will help the whole world in a larger sense. So today we have very special personality, a very professional person, a very humble person. I have known to this speaker for many years. I have been with him on different conferences with him. He is so humble, generous person and amazing personality. Above everything, he's a very talented and competent trainer, researcher, author. He's a so wonderful person. Let me just introduce him formally. He is graduated from UTM holding a PhD degree in corporate finance with distinction by having merit award. Currently, he is serving as an assistant professor at Lailpur Business School, GC University, Faisalabad, Pakistan. He has a vast teaching and research experience consisting more than 14 years in the field of accounting and finance. He is the author of many research articles. He published internationally in impact factor journals in local HEC recognized journal. He is a guest editor of Studies of Applied Economics. Moreover, he is editorial board member of Journal of Economic Info and Journal of Management Info. He is also a reviewer of many reputable journals like Journal of Sustainability, Foresight Journals, Inter Sciences, the Journal of Applied Economics, and Reader Insight, etc. He is founding member of Connecting Asia as well, and he is the head of the International Grants and Scholarship of APRA. He is an expert in quantitative analysis and professional SETA trainer as well. So welcome to the Kalwas platform, and thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Syed Ahmed Gilani.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Hadesha, for
Yeah,
your kind and very brief introduction
thank
about
you.
it. And I'm
Yeah,
also very thankful to you because you are providing a very great platform to all researchers across the world. So it's a
thank you.
very, this time, especially in COVID area, it is very much needed. So I really
Yeah,
appreciate you and thank you very much for inviting me through which
yes,
I can share some my knowledge and expertise among different, researchers and students across the world. Thank you very much,
yeah.
Dr. Heather.
It's
So I
really
think
pleasure to have you. Yes, it's really pleasure to have you, Dr. Syed Ahmed Gilani. And
my
thank you. Yeah, thank you. As a reminder to the audience that let me just tell you about the format of this session today. Dr. Syed Ahmed Gilani will be presenting the slides and will be sharing his screen, and he will be telling us about the Stata for 40 to 50 minutes. And then at the end, he would leave time for question answer session. If the question has not been addressed in the session, you can ask him, you can write in the comment section, or you can email us through Facebook or through our official info@kalwas.com. We are here, and I will ask the respective speaker to answer that thing. But hopefully, what I know about the speaker, he would cover each and everything in this presentation, so that there would be no requirement for any question answer session for that. But still, there is always room for improvement. You can comment whatever the question comes to your mind. So, Dr. Syed Ahmed Gilani, over to you, please.
yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Doctor. Can you see my slides, please?
Yes, it's visible. Carry on, please.
Okay. Okay, dear participants, welcome to all on this great platform. As you know, my name is Dr. Syed Ahmed Gilani. As Dr. Heather Shah introduced me well in manner. So without any further delay, uh, we will straight go forward to our today workshop. This is my highlight of my profile, as Dr. Heather Shah has already explained. Okay, what is learning outcome for today workshop? Today, we will understand what is the basic understanding of panel data, what kind of panel data, and why the panel data is important for our analysis, especially when we are, when we are talk about our quantitative study related to accounting and finance based research. And second, what about the model of panel data? What the model are available to analysis the panel data? We will talk about, and later we will do a practical session, and I will share a hypothetical data with you, and I will run these model in Stata. Okay. After this, we will also see some basic interface of Stata because it's a very long discussion. I will arrange another workshop about the data management in Stata. However, we will discuss here with the basic understanding through which we can deal data for panel analysis. And next, we will learn about the panel data formulation through we can do our analysis. So how can we do, we can make our like company codes and all the data arrangement in Excel sheet, and through which we can export Excel sheet into our data software. So we can also learn to the nature of panel data. So panel data estimation, diagnostic checking after running the basic analysis. So we will check our data diagnostic checking either the basic assumption of panel data is fulfilled or not. And then we will try to understand the interpretation of our results and what is the selection procedure of best appropriate model for panel data. And lastly, we will try to import our analysis table and graph from data from Stata to our MS Word. So this is also very important when you are talking about when the students are writing the thesis or the paper. So they need to import data from Stata in MS Word. This is okay. Before going to panel data, we will discuss uh, basic two type of data. One is time series data, and second one is cross-sectional data. So it is very important to understand these basic two types. As you know, the time series data in which there is only one entity. In my example, there is only one firm A having the profitability data over the period of 3 years, like from 2018 2020. So there is a time series data. There is an entity is fixed. It may be a country, it may be a firm, it may be a one sector. So entity is fixed and time is changing from 2018 to 2020. But in cross-sectional data, if you see second table, so there are different cross sections, like there are different three firms A, B, and C having the same data of profitability over a fixed period of time, like 2018. If we want to do a comparative analysis between or among the countries or among the firms, so we can do the cross sectional analysis because we have different cross sectional, but time is fixed. Okay, but when we are about the panel data, so it is a mixture of time series and cross sectional data where the time is also changes, and that and cross sectional will also changes is corresponding with the time of each individual cross sections. For instance, okay, before the panel data, some students or like researcher are talking about the sampling technique. In my previous slide, I take three firms. It's only hypothetical data. So I'm trying to analysis on the three firm data. But when we're talking about the sampling technique, so there are again it's a long debate about the sampling technique. But in our finance and accounting research, related studies. So we just encourage to consensus sampling, because the data is normally easily available through Thomas Reuters database, through which we can do a secondary data analysis. So secondary data is a not issue with the data collection. So normally we will do a consensus sampling. We take all population as a sample size in our quantitative analysis. However, in some time data is not available, so we have a data limitation, or we have a mixed approach, qualitative or quantitative approach, or sometimes we have to collect the primary or secondary source of data. So anyhow, somehow if the data is not available or there is a limitation of data, then we can calculate a appropriate or optimal sampling technique through Yemeni 1966. So about this technique, we can have use this simple data. So if you will put your information, like in my example, there is 500 firms as a population, and you are having a margin of error is 5%. Normally it's a 5%, maybe 1% or 10%, but we use 5% margin of error. Then you can calculate your sample size by calculating this formula. If you have put the values, so your appropriate sample size would be a 223 firms. So it will represent your whole population. It's a nowadays it's a debate that how much sample should be most appropriate. If you will take less sample, so it does not it cannot be a true representation of your whole population size. Or if you are taking more sample than appropriate sample size, then definitely there would be a wastage of resources, wastage of time, and the same answer or same results if can be predicted by optimal sample size, then why will go for a large sample size? So this is our main two issues. Small sample size is also a big issue, and large sample size maybe some issue about wastage of resources and time as well. So people or students are always worry about to know what is the optimal sample size. So here you can take a very simple formula and you can determine your optimal sample size, which is 223 firm size as my taking example. But again, I will suggest you, if you have more data, if you have no time or any limitation, so you can just take a whole sample, a whole population as a sample, if particularly if you are talking about secondary type of data. Anyhow, in my here slide, I am just taking three firms for making so simple. Okay, when we are talking about the pool data and panel data, there is some basic difference between pool data and panel data. Pool data is a data in which you just ignore the heterogeneity factor, and you are assumed that all firms are the same. Their size are same, their profitability are the same, they are running in the same sector. Every feature is the same, so you can just pool all firms into one data, ignoring the fact that there may be a heterogeneity factor. So when you are pooled all in one panel, so you can technically say that this is a pool data. But when you are ignoring the factor, when you are considering the factor of heterogeneity, and obviously it's a common sense that every firm has its own unique features. So some companies are big, some companies are small companies. So you can categorize into different panels. For example, in my right, on this example, if you see the right hand table, you can see there are three companies, and I give the company A as a panel 1, and company B as a panel 2, and company C is a panel C. It may be a you can take as a country as well. So here there is only one difference between heterogeneity and homogeneity factor. So when we are talking about the panel data, we must consider that all the companies are different and they have their own unique characteristics. So we cannot do or apply a same analysis uh, as a single nature of the companies. So this is a major difference between pool data and panel data. Some researcher or students are confusing between pooled and panel data. So okay, and secondly, if you see that the panel data having the both feature, time series feature and cross sectional feature. In time series here, you can see the time is changing from 18 to 20, and cross sections are also changes from A to firm C. It may be firm B, C, D, E. It depends on your research that how much companies you are taking in your panel analysis. Okay, types of panel data. There are two basic types of panel data: a balanced panel data and unbalanced panel data. Mean if you have the same number of observation of all cross sections, that you can say that there is a balanced panel data. In my example, if you see the left set table, you can observe that the company A, company C, and company B having same 3 years data of profitability. There is no missing data, the same data. So you can say that all three panels, A, 1, 2, 3, all three panels having the same number of years data across the all cross sections. So this is a panel, perfectly balanced panel data. And second is unbalanced panel data. Unbalanced mean there are some missing data in some one or two or three or like many cross sections. So you can say that is unbalanced panel data. In this example, if you observe the company A having 2 years data, B is a 3 years, and C is only 1 year data. So this is unbalanced. So this is also again a panel data. There are the same analysis technique, but there are some limitation about the unbalanced panel data. Uh, but the majority analysis are the same. So we are just assuming that we have a balanced panel data in our analysis. So I will share a Excel sheet later when we go on analysis part. Okay, why panel data is important? There are several reasons. Number one, due to identify the unique characteristics of individual company, we will give a company code in Stata. So Stata is treating as individual firms in a one data set. So the common they capture the common uh, features of individual group. Number two, you can say that the panel data is observing both and treating both feature of time series as well as the cross sectional uh, type of data. So they are covering and capturing to both aspects. And panel data is also is able to reduce the error of analysis, because we are capturing all data across all sectional. So this is you can say the perfect type of data through which you can do accounting and finance related research. And secondly, it depends also on your research questions and research objective, that what you are going to uh, do, or it depends on your also the research theme or conceptual framework. Okay, model for panel data. There are three basic model of panel data. Number one, pooled OLS, fixed effect, and random effect model. Okay, as I discussed earlier, that if you assume that all the firms are equal, their intercept are the same, and they are treating in the same manner, so you can use the pooled OLS model. It's up to you, but again, I will just not in favor to use the pool data. Okay, after the pool data consideration, you can just go through your fixed effect and random effect. If you are convinced that the firms are not same, the country are not same, because uh, in country cases, some are developing countries, some are developed economy. So inflation, interest rate, all these indicators um, would be are different because they are, developed and underdeveloping. So on this grounded theory, you can just justify that all these companies are not the same, so we are going for further uh, fixed effects or random effect. Okay, there are some theoretical aspects of the fixed effect and random effect model. In short, fixed effect model, through which you can say that their intercept of individual companies are fixed throughout the time period. The intercept are not changing. And when you are talking about the sampling size, if I will connect with the sampling size or sampling theory, as I discussed earlier, if we select a consensus sampling, normally fixed effect model is most appropriate, but later we will discuss that through what are the statistical measure which can tell us the fixed effect or random effect would be most appropriate. But on the theory ground, it generally considered that if we take maximum or consensus sampling, that fixed effect would be a most appropriate factor. And random effect mean if we are choosing sample as a randomly, there might be a randomness error in our calculation, because we are choosing a random sampling uh, from our population. So that might be a random effect or randomness effect of our model that can be misguide our analysis, or we can have a not good results in our analysis. So in statistical terms, so we can just take an average of all intersect, and the software do analysis by its own algorithm. So it nowadays it is very easy to do a random effect model. So we are not worried about that how we take average of odd intersect, and how we capture the random effect of all variables. So so don't worry about this like issue. So okay, when we do analysis, then we have to check our data diagnostic. So there are some basic diagnostic terms about panel data. First is normality diagnostic. We have a Jark-Better test for it. Then we will check the multicollinearity diagnostic. There should be no multicollinearity among our data. We will variance inflation factor, we will run later. And last one is heterozygosity diagnostic. We will have a Y test for it. So our data must be free from all these uh, data related issues. Okay, after diagnostic test, so what model is most appropriate for our panel analysis? As I discussed you, there are mostly common two method, fixed effect or random effect. We will run both two tests, and later we will decide that which one is the most appropriate for our analysis. So for this purpose, we have a Hausman specification test. If we run this test, the what null hypothesis tell us, it is a random effect model is most appropriate. If the null hypothesis is rejected, so we can just go in the alternative hypothesis, that is the fixed effect model is most appropriate model. So we will see later how we can do Hausman test specification test. Okay, without further any delay, I will go quickly because we have to do a practical session. So why Stata is like good software for us, because it provide more both view of analysis, because we have a command technique is available in Stata, and we have also a dialog box, so we can simply do analysis as we can do in SPSS or eView software. So we have both option. It number second, like it can handle a big data set, so we can customize our command according to our nature of the data. So we can have also a good quality graph and like analysis table from the Stata. So these are the some key features that why we are using the Stata. Okay, dear participants, let's start our practical session. So I will later share you a Excel sheet with you here. I'm just opening the Stata here. Please give me some time.
Yeah, sure, please.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Hadi, can you see my Stata windows?
Yes, please. It's visible. Carry on, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, dear participants, here I have a Stata 14 version. You can also download Stata 16, 17 is also available here. But I have a 14 Stata version. So every version have a some some limitation. We will conduct a new workshop in which I have already discussed with Dr. Heather Shah that in data management in Stata it's again a very big debate, and it need a very long session. So in other workshop I will do a workshop, and I will try to explain the overall interference and of Stata and how can we manage our files and data in data management in Stata. But today workshop, I am only focusing on panel data analysis through which we can learn Stata in our particular analysis. Okay, without further any delay, we will go. Okay, this is a main window of Stata. Okay, first step, we need to import our data sheet from Excel to Stata. There are major two approaches. First is you can go here on file menu on the top, then you can go import and choose Excel spreadsheet. Okay, then click on browser. Simply we can go through our computer hard disk. So there is a Excel sheet in a, so, okay, when I choose the sheet, so I need to check on import first row as a variable name, because we have to write some particular variable name in our Excel sheet when we are extracting Excel sheet from Thomson Reuters database. So it data will take as first row as a your variable name. So I am instructing data that import first row as a variable name. So I will check this option, then click OK, and there is, yeah, you can see there is a variable. I can show you in browser, data browser. Okay, you can see this file. Okay, company A, company B, company C, company D, and E. I have 5 companies of data, profitability, liquidity, leverage, and activity. So there is a 10 years data from 2011 to 2020, and the same years repeating in 2000. Sorry, for the company B and company C and so on. So this type of data you must arrange in our Excel sheet. This is very important point. Okay, you have to take first column as a company or country name, then year, Then you can choose your first independent variable, then dependent variable, then independent. I have a 3 independent variable and 1 dependent variable, that is a profitability. So this is a sequence. I suggest you to make your file in this specific sequence if you are interested in data analysis. Okay, this is the first point. Second, you can also simply copy paste of your data. If I go through my file here. Okay, this is my Excel sheet file. Yeah, if I just open the Excel sheet, you can also simply copy data, and you can go data editor and paste here. Again, he is asking about the variable name, so I said okay. So same data is showing here. So there are 2 ways. It's up to you that how can you import your data. Okay, after that, by importing data, now we will go our analysis. First, we have to do a simple pooled OLS model. So pooled OLS model, we can go on statistics here. In statistics, we will go longitudinal or panel data. Sorry, for pooled OLS, we are just ignoring the panel data setting. So we just go simply regression analysis. Okay, regression analysis here, you choose a dependent variable. There is a profitability of my dependent, and I will choose liquidity, leverage, and activity. So these are my 3 independent variables. So I will click on OK. So there is a file, so through which you can see our analysis part. So there are 2. Again, Stata will allow 2 type of doing option. That first one is your window interface, and second one is command. If you will directly do a command, I will make a bigger font size for you. Okay, if you like to do a command, then you can just write rec for regression. Then you can double click profitability. First, you need to do dependent variable. Then you can choose independent variable accordingly. So when you do the command, the same result data you can show on your window. So there is some interpretation. Number 1, you can see that there is a number of 50 observation because my data is a perfectly panel data. So I have 5 companies, 10 years data. So there is a 50 observation is there. So here is a F statistics shows that there is a fitness of model. That model is fit because the F statistics is less than 5%. So it tells that our model is fit. So we are happy for our model. And adjusted R-square is the variation in dependent variable due to our independent variable. There is a 27% change in our dependent variable is due to our independent variable. So in our example, we have 3 independent variable. So we can say that the profitability of all firms are changing due to liquidity, leverage, and activity combinedly by 27%. So it's a very simple interpretation of this model. And if we look into the detail of individual variable, so you can see that the liquidity, leverage, and activity. Uh, if you see the p-value of liquidity, it is 0.67. It means it is more than 5%. So it is an insignificant impact on profitability, right? So you can say that liquidity having the insignificant negative impact on profitability, because coefficient, you can see there is a negative sign. So there is a negative correlation or negative impact on liquidity on profitability. And the same interpretation, if you see the leverage have the value of 0.002, having a less value less than 5%, so it is a significant variable. So it has a significant impact on profitability of the company. And same is, you can interpret the activity and all these interpretation. So this is a simple regression or pooled regression. Now we will go in our panel data analysis. For panel data analysis, we have to tell the to Stata that all companies having unique characteristics and they are different to each other. Okay, for this purpose, we have to give a unique ID to every company. Say, if I do a number one for company A, number two for company B, number three and company C, and so on. So we have to do a specific code to that particular company, because we will instruct the Stata that all companies are different and they should be recognized by their dummy code or the code. So for this purpose, we will again do in command section. If you see the command for giving the code of each company, we will write here egen. I will write a company code name. Sorry, company code. You can write simply code. It's up to you. Firm code, country code, like only code. It's depend to you how you will generate a dummy variable. Okay, egen company code space equal space group space in bracket. I will choose the company here. You can see I will double click on company and close the bracket. Okay, so I am instructing the Stata through command that you will create a unique ID for each companies. If we have like 700 companies, 400 companies, so it is very difficult to do a manually code. We will do a coding by manually like 1 1 2 2 3 3. It's a very time taking procedure for a large data set. So if we will use this command, so it's very simple. Stata can give code for us. So if I will enter here, so this data has created a company code. I can show you in data editor. Here in data editor in top, if you will click on there, so there you can see the company code, last column, right? This one. So Stata give one code for company A, two for company B, three for company C, and so on, five for company E. So it's a very simple technique through which you can give a unique code to every company. Okay, then after coding, if I close, after coding, the second step in panel data, we have to set the data as a panel data. This is very important. I have already uploaded data in Excel sheet, okay, but Stata doesn't know that this is a panel or pooled or time series or cross-section data. Stata does not know. We have to tell the Stata that it is a panel data. In panel data, we have already created a unique ID, number one, and number two, we have to specify the time period that every cross section have a specific time period of observation. So for this purpose, we will go in statistics here in top menu, in statistics. Then we will come here. Okay, then setup and utilities, and then select the first option, declared dataset as a panel data. In declaration, we will give a unique panel ID. I have already created as a panel code, company code, sorry. We will choose this variable, and time variable, obviously we will choose years because time is a year starting from 2011 to 2018. So there are two options. So we have to select carefully, then we will select OK. So here you can see that XT set company code, they have set the data, and Stata is giving us the information that year starting from 2011 to 2020, and it is a strongly balanced because all companies having the same year of data. There is no missing data. If the data is missing, it's a very common issue that when the data is missing, so it automatically data will deduct that it is an unbalanced panel data. Anyhow, after declaring the data as a panel, then we will go through, we will apply our fixed and random effect model. For fixed effect model, we will there are again two options. We can go through a window approach, or we can just write a command. So I will tell you both. First, we will go in statistics. Then linear model. Oh, sorry. Go in statistics, then choose longitudinal panel data. Linear regression. So it is asking about dependent variable, obviously profitability over dependent. Then we will choose all three independent variable. Okay, so there are many options. So first we will run the fixed effect. We will choose here fixed effect. I will choose fixed effect and simply OK. So there is a pop-up window. It shows our fixed effect model. The same information, 55 companies, 50 observation, and all these result coefficients and p-value. The interpretation is the same as I discussed earlier. So this is a fixed effect model. If we do a command option, then we will write here xtreg. Sorry, xtreg. Why xtreg? X mean cross sections and T for time. So panel data is dealing both aspect, cross section as well as the time aspect. So that's why we will write xt reg for regression, st reg, then space. First you will click on dependent, then its corresponding independent variable, then comma space fixed effect mean fe, fixed effect. So if you will enter this command, the same window appear. So it's up to you if you are convenient with command. So you can use the command. Later I will tell you that how command are beneficial for us. So I personally like to give command in Stata. So it's a very convenient way to do analysis. Okay, our fixed effect is done. After fixed analysis, we have to save it in memory. Okay, for this purpose, we will go statistics. In last option, post estimation, we will click here. Then we choose Again, last option, manage estimation store. Then choose the first option, store current estimation in memory. We will choose this option and launch. And Stata is asking about what name you want to give it. So I simply say that it is a fix, like fix. You can write fix effect or you can write only fix. It's up to you, but don't give a space here because again software will give a error. So I simply write a fix because we are storing the fix effect model. So after writing fix, I will okay. So you can see here it's already stored in our memory. Okay, after storing the fix effect, we will uh, go for random effect, right? Then we will later decide the random effect is most appropriate or fixed effect is most appropriate. The same procedure for random effect, we will go statistics, then longitudinal panel, then linear modeling, second option, then click on first option. Again, same windows because we have already run the analysis, so history is there. So only one thing we will change here, we will choose GLS random effect. No, we will know to investigate the random effect of intercept of all uh, firms over the specific period of time. So we are using the GSL random effect, then click OK. Now this window will be pop up and all this analysis and interpretation at the same interpretation, sorry, is the same, the analysis are the different. So this is anyhow, this is a random effect. After analysis, we will go again in statistics and also save this result in Stata memory. For this purpose, okay, sorry, before this, I can show you the that how can you do a random effect in command. You can also write here xt reg. After xtreg, then choose again profitability, liquidity, leverage, and activity. At the end, comma. For random effect, I will write only RE. R for random, E for effect. Right? So if I enter the same command, same result is there. Right? Okay, after the random effect, we will save in our memory here. Sorry, for post estimation, same procedure I will adopt as we did in fixed effect model. So launch, no, he's asking about the name. No, I will give as random, right? Random. So it's stored in our random analysis. So both models have been employed. Both model results have been saved in our Stata. So now time is to select one of them, which is the most appropriate model for our analysis. For this part, we have a Hausman test. For this purpose, this is a diagnostic checking. So I will again go on statistics, post estimation. Then I will choose the third option. You can see here the third option, specification, diagnostic, and goodness of fit model. So I will single click on this. There are again two options. So I will choose the Hausman specification test. I will select and launch. Asking about which model you will place first. So I will take a fixed effect, then OK. Then here you can see the Hausman specification test. So again, there is, you can see the probability value of chi-square is less than 5%. So it is not, it is significant. So if the probability value is more than 5%, then you can select the the fixed effect. But it is less than it is a significant value because it is more not less than the 5%. So the random effect is model is most appropriate model for us. So this is a basic criteria to select the most appropriate technique through which we can select our best model. Okay, after this we can have some diagnostic checking about our data. So for this purpose, sorry, for this purpose, we will check first normality of the data, then multicollinearity, and lastly we will check the heterozygosity effect. For normality of the data, we will just run the regression first, reg, profitability, liquidity, leverage, and activity. We will first the simple regression. Okay, after simple regression, we need to calculate or create a residual of our variables, so through which we can see that our data is normal or not. So for this purpose, we do a command predict space residuals. mm, Predict residual. Sorry, there is a spelling mistake maybe. Residual. Yes. Okay. I can show you the data there. Yeah. In last term, you see that Stata create a new variable as a residual. So now we have a Jack-Barrett test that through which we can see that the data is normal or not. So second, after creating a residual, we have to JB test. We will simple write JB space residual. Okay, Jack-Barrett test is showing here the probability value is more than 5%, right? If you will see that is it 0.64, it's more than 5%. So you can see that our data is normally distributed. So there is no issue of abnormality of the data, or there is no outlier in our data. So the data is normally distributed. So after normality checking, we will go for multicollinearity. Again, there is a basic assumption of uh, regression, in linear regression, that there must be no multicollinearity among the independent variables. So there is a pairwise correlation, there must be, but there is no multicollinearity among all these independent variables. If the multicollinearity is there, there is no logic to have take two variables having the same correlation with the dependent or other variable. So we can just delete or ignore that variable. So for this purpose, we will check our multicollinearity diagnostic. So for this multicollinearity, I will just simply write BIF. It's a very simple command. BIF. It's a test for multicollinearity. So there is a table. It's a simply it's a criteria is to check the multicollinearity is this: if the VIF value is less than 10. Okay, if VIF value is less than 10, so there is no multicollinearity among independent variable. So if you see that liquidity, leverage, and activity, all values are less than 10, so we are happy. So there is no issue of multicollinearity is there. Okay, last and basic important is about heterozygosity. So for heterozygosity, there is a command of Y test for heterozygosity. IM test, IM test space, a comma space, then we will write simply white. So it's a white test for heterozygosity. IM test, comma space white. Then we will enter. So there is again a new window pop up here. So in white test, what is the criteria through which we can diagnose that our data is free from heterozygosity or not? So if you will see the chi-square value or probability of chi-square value, probability of chi-square value is again more than 5%. So there is no heterozygosity in our data. If the unfortunately the value is less than 5%, there there should be a problem in our data. So we cannot rely our data. We can just recheck and like uh, we can remove our heterozygosity factor before further analysis. So this is how three tests we can apply or on our data to remove or to check all these data related issues. Okay, lastly, um, if we want to all these analysis for importing our analysis to a Word file, so it's a very simple. You can just write any like first I choose this command. For instance, I am just using regression. Say if you want to save this regression in our Word file, what you need to do, you will write command here, and before and the starting of the command, you need to write as doc. Sorry, as doc. As doc space. And after sending this command, you can see the my file doc. If you will simply click on this, the your Microsoft Office window will be pop up. Yes, you can see the same result in our window file, right? So this is a very simple, any analysis you can do the same technique. You need to write your at the beginning of your command that as doc. Okay, some people facing this problem, their window cannot be pop up or some error comes. So for instance, if you have a very new version of Stata, if you have recently installed your data, then you need to install this feature through internet. Okay, so make sure that your laptop is connected with the internet. You can just retrieve these files through online. For this purpose, I am sharing with you a very useful command. For this purpose, you will simply write here ssc space install space as doc. Okay, so this feature you can install by online. Because I have already installed this feature, so it will work, but it can be overlapped and edit in my system. For you, I will just go enter, and you can see that my data is getting information from online source. Yes, so first you have completed this procedure, then you can able to import your analysis from Stata to Word file. Okay, this is I think all about our analysis about the panel data. In second phase, I will try to do a moderation analysis in a very short way, because we have again time limitation. So for moderation analysis, we can also use the Stata. It's a very again simple technique. Okay, for moderation analysis, I will not go with the theory that what is the moderator and how why we include the moderating effect in our analysis part. I will again take a hypothetical data, and here I will do a moderation analysis simply. So, due to lack of time, I will now go through the theory part. Okay, for moderation analysis, if we'll go the theory, sorry, the data. So you have, like four variables. So suppose that I have a theory that if the company high leverage firm, some companies are high leveraged and some companies are low leveraged. I suppose that if the company are high leverage, their profit, there is a some uh, strong relationship between activity and profitability, right? Or there, if the companies are low leveraged or low debt taking company, then there might be a different effect of activity on profitability, or active liquidity and profitability, whatever your independent and dependent variable is this. But we are taking as a uh, leveraged and non-leveraged firm as a moderating variable. So we will uh, give a dummy code to leveraged firm 1 and non-leverage less leveraged firm as a 0 otherwise. So in our analysis or in normal analysis, mostly the moderating variable is a like 1 0 binary form of variable, 1 0, or we can male female, like uh, or you can say cold or hot weather, rainy or not rainy weather. So you can just take two effect, and you can just you need to do a specific code for one and otherwise for 0. The same procedure we will do in Stata as well. Okay, for this purpose, if I will remove this data set, then we will import again. For clear, I will clear. So it's the clear data set. I will import again for your convenience, because you can, confuse uh, about the new variable, because we have already created many new variables. So we can import our file. Yes. Okay, same file I have imported. So I can show again. There are four variable: profitability again dependent, and all these are independent variable. So for moderating analysis, we have to uh, tell the Stata that this is our moderating variable. For this purpose, we will generate a new variable. We will write gen space new variable. For example, I write here high leverage firm. I will say HLF, high leverage firm. Okay, high leverage firm space equal space 1. I'm creating a new variable, gen high leverage firm is equal to 1. When I enter, so you can write, so you can see here, there is a new variable, high leverage firm, all taking a 1. But there is some low leverage and there is some high leverage firm. We have to decide as a researcher that what criteria we can distinguish between these two firms. So we have to set us parameter uh, through which our through theory and some empirical researches. For instance, for a simple understanding, I am assuming that if the leverage firm, if the company is taking more than 50% leverage that would be a high leverage firm. For example, okay, if you see the leverage here, there are different values, right? I assuming that if that debt to total asset ratio is more than 50%, that companies are high leverage, and otherwise if the value is less than 50%, that would be a low leverage firm. So we have to tell Stata that what is our uh, we can categorize through 1 and 0. For this purpose, I will go in command, then I will do categorically. Again, I will write a gen command, gen high leverage firm to, sorry, to, because I'm creating a new variable. If I will select the same high leverage firm, that will be error that this variable is already created. So I will create a new variable s2, then space that is equal to, then double bracket. I will instruct here the leverage. I will write a leverage value here. Leverage equal, sorry, more than. This is my own criteria, more than 50. Okay, then I will close. It means that I'm instructing data that leverage value is more than 50. That should be treated as high leverage firm. Otherwise, that firm be a low leverage. So Stata will automatically give a code 1 or 0. So I will enter. Okay, the new variable is created as a HLF2. This is our moderating variable. Okay, I can show here again data editor. So this is very important. You can see here Stata automatically give code 0, okay, for 1, 0, 1, and so on. So these are the company having a low leverage and high leverage firm. Okay, after instructing the after making a moderating variable, then as you know that moderation analysis, we have to create a new variable as an interaction term. This is a very important component of moderation analysis. So for interaction term is basically is a multiple is a multiplication between your independent and moderating variable, right? In our example, if I want to check the moderating effect of liquidity or moderating effect of activity on profitability of particular company, then there should be a interaction term by multiplying that liquidity and high leverage firm. If you will see that this one blue part is our moderating variable, and for instance I will take a liquidity as a independent variable. So there should be some interaction between independent variable and moderating variable. Okay, so for this purpose uh, I will again say I will make a new variable by interaction. So gen I will say that high leverage firm, or I can simply say interaction. I can also use the interaction, whatever you want to you want to give a name. Okay, gen interaction. Okay, interaction between what? Independent and moderating variable. Here, suppose I take liquidity as a independent. I will take liquidity. For multiplication, I will choose steric. Then this one is our moderation, right? Which we have already created. So if I will enter, so again, our attraction variable have been created. Again, you can see the browser. Yes, this our attraction term have been created. Okay, again, later, then I have the independent dependent variable and moderation attraction term. So for this purpose, we can just simply write a regression command. Reg, I will take first in the, dependent variable, then independent as a liquidity, then I will take as a moderator, then I will take as a interaction term. So this is the formula of, you can also search the what is the linear formula of moderation. So we choose interaction term as a independent variable and its coefficient also is treated as a interaction. So if we run this one, so you can have same analysis as we do in regression. So for moderation analysis, you are more concerned about interaction that either having considering the high leverage or low leverage firm, there is a interaction term is there or not, or there is a moderating effect of high leverage and low leverage firm is there or not. So for this purpose, you need to focus on interaction coefficient and its p-value. If the p-value is significant, it means that your moderating analysis having a significant impact or strengthen the effect between independent variable and the dependent variable. So this is a very simple analysis. We just need to create a first dummy variable, then we have to instruct the stata by your own criteria. Then we need an interaction term as I did and I show you. Then after interaction term, we will do simple analysis as we do in regression. And regression for coefficient, you can just observe that there is a moderation analysis or not. Okay, for moderation analysis, we can also have option to see the interaction term by graphically. So for this purpose, we have a command that two-way space LFIT LFIT. Then we will take is the profit in profitability as a dependent variable. Then liquidity we will choose as an independent variable. Then we will see that plus is equal if moderating variable t equal 1 close. Again we will write the same LFIT, again profitability, then liquidity, so okay, and then I will write if the moderating variable is equal to 0, because we have two category, one for leveraged, high leveraged, and zero category for the non-leveraged. Okay, when we close the bracket and enter, there should be a invalid. I think there is some command error. Maybe there is here. Okay. I think to LFIT. There is some error. Oh, sorry, double equal. Okay, so I forget to enter the double equal sign. There's some error here. Don't know what is. I think there is some error to show the graphical presentation of moderation through which we can see that there is some attraction between lines or not. I'm just trying to figure out LFIT. Okay, sorry, I don't know what is happening with the command. It's not working at all. So I will share you the later that what is issue with it. LFT 0, 1, 0. LFT 0, 2. I think there is issue with the LFT 2.
Dr. Gilani, can the half 2 is 2 times?
What, doctor?
The half 2 is 2 times written.
No, it is the actually moderating variable. We have already named the LF2 here. So it's the same command, but we are,
Yes.
one time is running with the one time running with the 0. We are instructing the same variable with 1 or 0.
Okay, all right.
Okay, leave it. I will.
Yeah, sometimes it happens in the software. Never mind.
Yeah.
Please get on.
Yeah. Okay. So this in which I can, I can show you the graphical presentation of moderation. If simply that if the your interaction result is significant, a p-value is less than 5%, there must be a graph that shows that there is an interaction between two lines, right? If the interaction is insignificant at level 5 or level 10 or even level 1, so there must not be an interaction between the lines. So graph will show you these two parallel lines, like they will never interact. So there is, it means that there is no effect of moderation. So is in our example, if the lines are parallel and p-value is insignificant, mean that there is no matter that the company is high leverage or low leverage. So there is no impact of these characteristics on profitability by taking as a liquidity as an independent variable. So this is how we can interpret the moderation analysis. Later, I will share you command with you, Dr. Heather, that why this command is not working here. So
Sure.
maybe some typing error. So I will share. with you later. Okay, this is uh, how we can do our, you know, moderation analysis, as well as a panel and typical fixed and random effect analysis. Okay, for lastly and very quickly, we were talking about, bivariate, univariate, and multivariate analysis. So in univariate, you can simply you have only one variable. You can just do an analysis by taking mean or median and frequency, or you can also use the histogram of that variable. So you can actually want to know the nature of that particular variable. So this is a, univariate analysis. For the multivariate analysis, if you have more than two variables, then you can just you can check that what the independent variable having the effect of the dependent variable. So there is some more detailed analysis rather than the univariate analysis. You can make a correlation matrix for the bivariate analysis. You can even run the regression, simple regression analysis, and so on. And for for bivariate analysis, normally there is no multicollinearity, heteroscedasticity issues there. But in our most of the research in our finance, particularly in finance and accounting research, so we have multiple variables. For instance, in like our example today, we have four variables. One is dependent, that is profitability, and rest are the independent variable. Three independent variable, it might be a 4, 5, 6. That is a multiple variable. So uh, there are again different techniques to analysis the multivariate based data. So we have descriptive analysis, we have correlation, we have OLS model, we have logistic regression model. Logistic, again, also if we have bivariate and bivariate variable as a dependent variable, like dichotomist variable, you can also say the dichotomist variable 1 0. So we can also apply a logistic regression model. So and also these many many diagnostic checking should be there when we are talking about the multivariate analysis. So this is part through I can I have already explained that which kind of data or variable available for us for analysis. So due to limitation of time again, and for the online webinar, we have again also some limitation to how we can explain and do like session on the Stata. Anyhow, inshallah, when the COVID situation would be better, then we will have a hand-on complete workshop. So again, due to time, so I just cover up my all aspects of the presentation. And thank you very much, Dr. Heather Shah, and all audience for your patience. And if you have any question, you can just ask, and I will try to explain in a best manner.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Gilani. Super presentation and super explanation, and I could see the bombardment of comments. That's a wonderful session and very informative session, and the great explanation. And that's what Dr. Gilani, I used to say that the experts, the ability of the expert is to make things in a simple way. You have explained each and everything in a so simple way that I was kept enjoying the presentation and the explanation, and the small things which you were giving, the small tips which you were providing to the audience was so wonderful. Dr. Gilani, I have been to
Thank you very
many
much.
workshops in Malaysia and Dubai as well. And I was really feeling like I'm sitting in Malaysia and attending one workshop over there, and the expert is telling me each and everything. It could
Yeah.
recall all the PhD memories over that time, because you were
Thank you.
explaining in such a wonderful way the small, minute steps. For example, the EXT and regression, the REG, and then the comma, and then the fixed effect. What I could notice is as a student, that these are very helpful tips, and these are the things which you need to understand, and it takes 6 to 8 months to learn it, because these are the real practical tips which you have provided. So I
Thank you.
really enjoyed the session. I really enjoyed and loved the way you were explaining everything. What I used to say is that since I know you personally, that you are very knowledgeable and very talented person, and
Thank
I
you very
would
much.
say that I want to be your student as well, because now I learned the Stata from you. It's really wonderful
Thank you very much,
because
Doctor. It's very honor
yeah,
for me. It's very honor
thank
for
you.
me being with you and
Yeah,
all the audience across the world. So thank you
yes,
very much for providing me an excellent platform. So inshallah,
yes,
we will continue our session in
sure.
future, and
Yeah,
also we will do a hand note staining, and inshallah, that the situation will be a better, inshallah, soon.
very much better, because I could see the warm and huge response from the audience that it's such so lovely session. And I'm getting personal messages on my Facebook as well as on our email address that when will be the next session with the Dr. Gilani. So it means that before ending this session, we are getting request for the new session, which is you have
Sure.
already mentioned in your starting the
Okay.
session. Yeah.
I am
So,
24/7
yeah.
available for you,
Yeah.
inshallah. Whenever you will say, I will be available, inshallah.
So kind of you. And I said earlier in the opening statement that you are so humble and so down to earth person, so great person, that I really personally admire your efforts and your capabilities. Thank you so much
Thank,
for your time and everything.
thank you.
Just quickly, few question, Dr. Gilani, if you allow me, just I
Sure, sure,
can.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. The first question is just to guide that student that my Stata is unable to import result table and give error. So please guide me. How can we fix this problem?
Yeah, doctor, thank you very much for asking the question. It's a very common question, and common error usually occur when students are importing their data. Okay, it's depend on the which version you are using of Stata. For instance, I'm using the Stata 14, so it's usually take XLXT file. Okay, you have to convert its version in Excel. Number one. Number two,
Mm.
if it will not work, then you can also convert your Excel file into CVS format. So it always work in any version of Stata.
Okay.
So I think this is how you can import the data. And second option, I have already explained in my first phase of presentation. If you have
Right.
a limited data source, short data, then you can simply copy from Excel to paste in data editor browser in Stata. So there are
Yeah.
two options. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for such a nice answer. The second and last question is since panel data consists of both the time series and cross-sectional data, the usual descriptive analysis procedure do not give much logical result.
Yeah.
Please, your take on that.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. There is actually one command that is only some sum. If you write some command in Stata, that Stata take as a pooled data. I have already explained. It is a pooled data, so it gives only information about mode, median, frequency, number of observation in a combined form. But when we are talking about the panel data, so we can add the xt sum command, like we x for again cross section, t for time, and sum. If you will write this command, then the Stata will give you more explanation about your independent variable. For instance, the overall observation and within the group also, right? And
Okay,
across the section also. If you allow me, then I can perform that. How can xt sum in Stata analysis? It's a more detail, right? So you just
right.
need to add xtm, so it will give more detail overall as well as the within the group information.
Right. Wonderful said, Dr. Gilani. And it was again pleasure listening to you the whole presentation and the whole explanation. And I just mentioned over here that I just felt like I'm in abroad and listening to the foreign speaker who is explaining each and every command, each and everything in a so wonderful way that even a beginner could learn with very wonderful way. And this is our contribution, and this is how we impact the world Today, you have created a great impact on the people by sharing your knowledge and sharing your experiences. All of these things will be very helpful to the upcoming researchers and professionals to take advantage from that and learn in that way. So, Dr. Gilani, in the last, your message to the world as a researcher, trainer, learner, and professional, what would you say and what would you recommend to the world, please?
Uh, yeah, doctor, it's a very interesting and difficult question to because all the people are very learned people. So for my point of view, I would just want to say one thing that learning never ends
True.
till that. If you are like a learner, so you just need to open your mind for as a learner that if you will close your mind and if you are thinking that you have learned enough, you have learned everything, so that day is a death day of your vision and all that go through, you can explore the world. So I
Yes.
think we must a learning aptitude. So no
Mm.
one is perfect here. So every day, every point we have to learn new things. So this is my very short message to the world, and as well as I am also working on it. So every day is a new day, and everything should be uh, get it from other scholars
Yes.
and other source. Yeah.
Yeah, very wonderful message to the world. In a nutshell, I would just say that what you have said is keep on learning, and from whom you can learn, try to learn it. So that's a wonderful message. And as you, audience, as you saw that Dr. Gilani himself said that every day is a new for him, and every day he tries to learn by himself. So the same he recommends to us, to me, to you people, that learn every day, and every day is a new opportunity for us to learn something new from the different experts, professionals, and different researchers. So at the end, I would say that it is very and extremely important to have a command on analysis, and particularly these kind of new software that Stata, EViews, and other, because these are very powerful tools. And if you have a command on all these content of regression, the normality assumptions, and all these things, it will be very easy for you to run the analysis and to interpret in a better way so that the world could get the benefit out of your research. So once again, I would say that we are highly thankful to the Dr. Gilani for giving us his precious time and making sure that he is available over here. We are very thankful to him, and it's really great of him that he gives such uh, a great amount of time. And I personally thank him for explaining so wonderful that a person like me who is far from the finance related things, and he could learn a lot from the Dr. Gilani. So my
Thank you
new
very much,
teacher
Doctor.
as
Thank you
well,
very much.
Dr. Gilani. Thank you
My
very
honor.
much. Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure listening to you, and we had a wonderful time with you. So that
Thank you very
comes to
much.
the end of this session. Thank you very much for joining with us, and stay tuned to us so that we will be able to provide you other videos as well. And we can assure you that we will again invite and request to the Dr. Gilani to come up for the second session with us as well. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Bye bye.